Good, happy Sunday morning, everyone. January 5th, 2020. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this Sunday and this week's edition of Politics with Riley King. We have a lot of political news to get through for this Sunday edition of Politics with Riley King, so let's begin. First up, let's take a look at your 2020 New Hampshire candidate tracker for today. And here's a look at that candidate tracker for all of you for today. We have a bunch of candidates in New Hampshire today. The first candidate we're talking about, Michael Bennet. He has one event today in New Hampshire. Attending College Convention 2020 at the Doubletree by Hilton in Manchester, New Hampshire at 7:30 p.m. Pete Buttigieg, he has two events today in New Hampshire. His first event, Town Hall at Franklin High School in Franklin, New Hampshire at 9:45 a.m. His second event, Town Hall at Southern New Hampshire University in Manchester, New Hampshire at 1 o'clock p.m. Deval Patrick has two events in New Hampshire today. His first event, House Party in Concord, New Hampshire at 11:30 a.m. and his second event, House Party in Holderness, New Hampshire at 3 p.m. Those are all the candidates in New Hampshire today. Manchester business leader, Democratic activist, endorses Pete Buttigieg. Former executive council candidate had backed Kamala Harris. Presidential hopefuls weigh in on U.S. airstrike while on New Hampshire campaign trail. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Tim Callery.
Since our TV was stolen, we've started saving for a new one. Shouldn't take too long.
If it's worth owning, it's worth covering. Help protect your things for as low as 39 cents a day with renter's insurance from USAA.
That's right, we're a little more than a month away from the first in the nation primary. Plenty of topics discussed on the campaign trail, but a lot of candidates really focusing this weekend on Iran. Pete Buttigieg arriving in Wolfboro Saturday night, his third campaign stop of the day.
Friends, I believe, with your help, that we are on the cusp of making history.
The Democratic presidential candidate discussed familiar topics of climate change, affordable housing, and the economy, but his speech also had a focus on recent developments in the Middle East.
U.S. credibility is not exactly at its highest. So even though it's not at all difficult for me to believe that Qasem Soleimani was in the middle of planning something nefarious, on any given day he usually was, we are going to have trouble, I think, rallying the world around our perspective.
And his fellow veteran and current presidential competitor, Tulsi Gabbard, also voiced her opinions about the U.S. airstrike in Iraq during a campaign stop in Grantham.
It was a clear act of war taken without congressional authorization.
Gabbard adding the last thing the U.S. needs is to go to war with Iran.
The cost will not be confined to within the boundaries of Iran. This will be a regional war that will take American lives, that will cost us as taxpayers trillions more dollars.
While canvassing for his campaign in Manchester, Deval Patrick also weighed in.
I am deeply concerned about what this may mean, and even more concerned that our leadership probably hasn't thought about what it may mean.
And Democratic candidate Michael Bennet was also in the Granite State. He had two stops, one in Dover and one in Concord. Reporting in Wolfboro, I'm Tim Callery, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Booker talks with Granite Staters and Candidate Cafe. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
As a Jersey guy, Cory Booker knows a thing or two about diners.
What state has the most diners per capita in all of America? New Jersey does, yes.
Booker is a vegan, but he says that doesn't hold him back when he picks up a menu.
I will come in and have salads. I'll ask them to grill me up some vegetables. Usually they'll do whatever I can. And unfortunately, as you can see from my size, I'm not wanting for lack of food.
Rising to national prominence as the mayor of Newark, Booker made headlines in 2012 when he rescued a neighbor from her burning home.
I ran and I grabbed her, and then I just knew I couldn't find a window. There was only one way out, which was back the way we came. And her body shielded me. She got badly burned. But I was holding her in a way that only my hand got the secondary burns. But we got out of that fire.
The senator is unmarried but has a well-known girlfriend, actress Rosario Dawson.
Just love it. If I have a vacation, it would be for me and Rosario to go to a nice beach and do a lot of reading. I like to read out loud to her.
Booker became emotional discussing one of his heroes, Congressman and civil rights icon John Lewis, who was beaten during a march in Selma, Alabama in 1965.
On that Edmund Pettus Bridge, when he had his skull fractured, there was a white man in New Jersey, 1,000 miles away in 1965, watching him. He was so moved by what John Lewis did, he became a lawyer, giving pro bono time to a tenants' rights organization, to the Fair Housing Council. Went on to get a case file from a family moving from the South, trying to find housing. And that lawyer, when I talked to him, he goes, the names on that case file, Cory, were Carrie and Carolyn Booker, your parents. John Lewis on that bridge, standing up, inspired a guy in New Jersey who went on to fight for my family, got into my housing.
Adam Sexton, WMUR, News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Repeat bills plentiful in upcoming legislative session. I want you to take a look and read this article. And if you want to see this article again, we will share a link with you on the Riley King Network Facebook page after this broadcast. Trump defends Iran airstrike as a step toward preventing war. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
Trump is defending the airstrike as preventing a possible war, but Democratic lawmakers are lashing out at the administration for not consulting Congress or getting authorization. ABC's David Wright is in West Palm Beach, where the president has been spending the holidays. David, good morning to you.
Good morning, Whit. The president claims this drone strike was a defensive measure thwarting a major planned attack, but the administration's offered no proof of that. With Iran now threatening vengeance, the big question is, did this ease tensions or escalate them? Addressing evangelical Christians at an event in Miami Friday night, President Trump insisted his decision to take out Iran's top military commander saved American lives.
He was planning a very major attack, and we got him.
The administration offered no proof of any planned attack. On Fox, the Secretary of State echoed the president, but gave no further details.
There was an attack that was imminent that could have killed dozens or hundreds of Americans.
Democratic members of Congress accused Trump of kicking a hornet's nest and say he failed to consult Congress before doing so.
The question we have to be asking ourselves today is whether Qasem Soleimani is more dangerous to the United States alive or dead as a martyr.
The president's critics acknowledge Soleimani had plenty of blood on his hands, but say the U.S. attack in a drone strike at Baghdad International Airport was reckless, dramatically escalating America's long-simmering conflict with Iran. President Trump rejects that.
We took action last night to stop a war. We did not take action to start a war.
Killing bin Laden didn't stop al-Qaeda. Killing al-Baghdadi didn't stop ISIS. And killing Soleimani is not going to stop the IRGC Quds Force. It is significant. They will take losses. This is a major, major blow to the Iranian intelligence and security services.
Up until now, the administration has talked tough on Iran, but generally shied away from taking actions that might escalate violent conflict. That changed with this attack. Now, experts in the region say Iran's vengeance is not a matter of if, but when. Eva?
All right, David Wright for us.
Hi.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And that does it for this Sunday edition of Politics with Riley King. I hope you all enjoyed watching this Sunday edition of Politics with Riley King. Have a great rest of your Sunday, everyone, and I'll see you back here next Sunday for another edition of Politics with Riley King. And have a great week as well, everybody. Goodbye.